Hey guys, so today I'm back with another hair tutorial. We're going to be doing the engagement hairstyle from the new movie Damsel. So first of all, we're going to split our hair right down the middle, and this is obviously not what I normally do. Not sure how I feel about it, but it's okay for this video, I guess. We're going to be putting a rope braid right down the center above our ear, and then turning it back into a regular 3-strand braid. So what we're going to do first is split our hair into two halves, basically. Doesn't have to be exact. And then put a ponytail in this one just to keep it out of the way. And if you have these little clips, they help a lot because my hair was kind of all over the place when I was trying to do this, and being able to split it apart made it so much easier. So on this other half we're going to start with, I'm going to split my hair right above my ear all the way up to the top of my head. Try to make this a relatively straight line, but it's not the end of the world if it's not. And this is where we're going to be doing our rope braid. So we're going to take a section of hair right from like the very top of this section. It's not very thick, maybe like an inch, 2 inches wide, and make sure it's right at the top of your head. This is the part I struggled with the most for sure with this hairstyle. So getting this rope braid started right from the top of your head, I felt made the biggest difference. Of course, it's a little bit difficult because in the movie she's wearing either hair extensions or more likely a wig, and so her hair is very thick. She has a really thick rope braid, she has a really thick 3-strand braid, and she has a lot of hair left after the end of it, all that. And obviously I don't have that I'm not wearing extensions, so I just have my regular amount of hair. So we're gonna have thinner braids than in the movie, but they're still gonna look good. So the rope braid is a 2-strand braid, and we are going to be twisting it towards my face, which means that we need to turn, each strand needs to be twisted away from my face, the opposite direction of where you're going to turn the braid. So it's going to go towards my face, which means I have to turn all of the hairs away from my face. So just twist them between your fingers fairly tightly. It doesn't have to be anything special. I think that it must be just the texture of your hair kind of keeping this braid in place once you get both braids twisted and then twist them together, because it will kind of stay in without a ponytail, but I still would recommend a ponytail. You'll see when we get there. So again, I'm twisting this one away from my face as well. Okay, now that I have both of them finished, I'm going to be twisting them towards my face, the opposite direction that I did the first time. And I want this to be like twisted fairly tight, so I'm just going to do all the way down, and then I found kind of pulling them apart like this really, obviously, as you can see, makes it tighten up at the top. And we're going to do like all the way down these strands, but we're not actually going to use that all, so don't worry too much about getting it all the way down or perfect. And obviously I have a lot of little like hairs sticking out everywhere. There's not much you can do about that. I have layers cut into my hair, and that's why that's there. You won't really see them when the hairstyle is finished anyway, so don't worry about it. This braid is finished, and I'm just going to take out these little clips that I had trying to hold the rest of my hair out of the way while I was doing this. And I'm going to take a little piece of hair right from above my ear, and I'm going to be like ponytailing this new piece of hair to this rope braid just to hold the rope braid in place while I do the rest of for the hairstyle. Actually, it's going to stay there the whole time. And this I felt helped keep the braid in place, and also it keeps the braid from unraveling itself, because like I said, it is holding itself together with the texture and tension of your own hair, but it will unravel eventually without some kind of ponytail. And I'm just copying the hairstyle from the movie as closely as possible just from looking at it. So, I mean, I'm sure there are other ways to do this. This is just the way that I found worked the best for me after doing a few different ways, trying a few different types. So now we have that braid ponytailed right to above my ear, and make sure that it's nice and tight and it's close to your head. As you can see, it's a lot thinner and skinnier than the braid that she has in the movie, but again, I don't have extensions in, so that's what we're dealing with. And we're just going to pin this other hair out of the way once again. Now at the front here, we're going to be doing a 3-strand braid. we're going to be doing an inside out braid, so we do not want these hairs to be going over the top of the middle hair like we do in a regular braid. We want them to be going underneath. And in this case, the order I found matters. So you want the hair that is closest to your face going under the middle strand first, and then you want the hair that is attached to the rope braid going under, and then so on. In this case, also try really hard to make sure that you get each of those 3 strands to be an equal size of hair, because keeping in mind your hair that's closer to your face may be thinner or shorter than the hairs that is farther back on your head. So I found that out very early on and had a lot of difficulty making sure that these are all the same widths. So just do the best you can with that, obviously. And then we're going to braid this all the way down the full length of my hair. Okay, so that's finished. And we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. I'll put the timestamp at the bottom of where you can jump to if you want to skip to the next part, because I'm doing exactly the same thing. So once again, I'm going to be turning this rope braid towards my face, which means I need to twist each one of these sections away from my face. And then I'm going to be putting in a 3-strand braid inside out, just like I did on the other side. So if you need to skip this part, that's fine, and I'll meet you back at the third part. Okay, I'm sticking that ponytail in here once again to hold this braid in place. And you can see here really well that it's gone straight down my head from the very top of my head all the way down this side. And I'm keeping all the rest of the hair pinned back from the point of these rope braids back is all going to be staying back. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're going to be doing a 3-strand braid again. So once again, try to make these 3 equal sections and get your piece that's closest to your face going under the middle strand first. I found this helps kind of covering up the ponytail that you have with that rope braid, and it also just makes it look the closest to how her hair looks. If I did it any other order, I felt like this hair that's at the front would just end up covering up that rope braid entirely, and I put way too much work into getting that thing right to cover it up with another braid. That thing was a nightmare. I don't know why, but this hairstyle was kind of a struggle, and it looked like it was going to be easy, and that rope braid just about did me in. I got it in the end, and I feel like I made it look fairly easy, but it was not easy getting it to just lay perfectly right and be visible, and if you struggle with that, just know that I did too. So once again, we're going to braid all the way down the length of this hair. Okay, both braids are done, and I look like Pippi Longstockings. We are going to be pancaking these braids just to make them look a little bit thicker, which just means holding loosely to the bottom of the braid. I'm going to pull on each strand and just make it look a little bit thicker and fuller. And this is why it's kind of better to get your sections as close to the same size as possible, because here you can see I have, by the end of the braid, my sections are not the same size. So it doesn't ruin the hairstyle by any means, but it just doesn't look quite as good as the other side does, where I managed to have those braids be more of an equal size. Okay, so we've kind of stretched them out a little bit and made them look a little thicker, and we're just going to loosen up the front here as well. I don't want it to be like slicked straight back. Her hair is very loose in this hairstyle, so that's what I'm going to do. And obviously I think it looks better as well like that. The last thing we have to do, the last braid, is a little tiny braid right down the back, straight down the back. I definitely would not do this braid if I was going to be wearing this hairstyle just out in public without the fabulous hairpiece that she has in the movie, because it just looks odd. But we're going to copy it exactly, and if you're not doing this with a hairpiece that's going to cover things up like this one, skip it. Just don't include this part. And this is just I just took maybe a inch large section just behind those 2 rope braids, and I just did a regular braid with it. Okay, so we are almost to the end of this hairstyle. All we have to do now is pull these braids back and pin them in place along the back of my head. So when you pull these back, make sure you get it right. This is not the right direction, that is the right direction. you'll probably be able to tell because it will be sticking out a lot more the wrong direction. I mean, it'll be fine either way, but... So I'm going to pull this hair back, and I'm going to pin it in place using bobby pins to pin it right to the back of my head, kind of right underneath the other braid, so that I can use that other braid to hide, hopefully hide most of the ponytails or the barrettes that I'm using to pin it in place. Okay, so you're starting to see the problem I ran into here. If your hair is the right length, you will not have this issue, but my hair is too long to actually do this with and not have this huge tail sticking out. So I pinned it in place really good, and then I'm going to show you 2 ways that I tried to hide this. So the first way is I just tried my best to pin it underneath the braid with bobby pins, and I'm kind of pinning it both to my underneath hair and also to the bottom of the braid itself. Didn't work the best, but after a little bit of tweaking, it was okay. You're definitely going to want to mirror when you're doing this part because it's just hard to tell, and you want to be able to see the back of your head. Now the next way that I tried to do this, when I saw how this first braid went, and I didn't really like how it went, I braided my hair as far down as I possibly could, and then I folded it in half, as you can see, and I put a clear elastic around it so that it's kind of one big chunk. And I had measured it so that it will be the right length to go back and pin on the other side of my head. I'm not sure which way is really best. You'll just have to play around with it and decide what works best for you. I think I would definitely do this folded over braid next time that I do this hairstyle. So I just, again, braided my hair all the way down to the very end, and then folded my hair in half and put clear elastics around it and made sure it was the right length so that it can be pinned underneath this first braid. I think that looks better because even if you see the tail of my hair, it still is a braid instead of just being a straight piece of hair, as you can see with the other one. And then I again tucked this one underneath the first braid as best as I could, and then I pinned a lot of pins into it. Okay, here's the final result. I'm really happy with how this hairstyle turned out. It was oddly one of the harder ones that I've done. I'm not sure why exactly, but I really think it was worth it. The way that the rope braid transitions into the 3-strand braid and the way the 3-strand braids cross over each other at the back all looks really nice, I think, and I'm just really happy with it. I think this is something you could actually do and wear in public without looking like a crazy person, like some of these hairstyles that are a little over the top in fantasy movies, but I'm really happy with it. So if you guys like this video, make sure you hit like, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos, and check out my channel for other videos that I've already done. And leave me a comment below if you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you thought about the Damsel movie. Did you watch it yet? I really enjoyed it myself, and I think it was just fabulous. So let me know what you guys thought of that movie, let me know what you thought of this video, and come back for the next one. Bye!